Hello, hello, everyone. I'm so excited that you all are here today. We are going to be talking about a heroine of the movement, Georgia Gilmore, and I'm so excited to share her story and to distill some business lessons from her story that I think all of us could learn from and use. So really excited about this. Excited for you guys to get into this story. And so let's dive in. Let's dive in. Now, here's what we're talking about today. If you've ever been told like to wait your turn, don't say anything, don't speak up for yourself, or if right now, present day, you are literally trying to figure out whether or not you should be speaking up for yourself in times like this, like there may be something you want to speak about right now that you are holding off on speaking about because you are scared, this is going to be the live video for you. I think that you're going to get a lot of value out of today, so tune in. Before we dive into the incredible business lessons of today, and I tell you all about this magnificent, magnificent woman, I want you guys to know that we are still in the wait list period for Black Women Sell Live. I've gotten a lot of emails, a lot of text messages, a lot of DMs about Black Women Sell Live, wondering how you can get on the wait list. What is it? It is a sales conference for Black women entrepreneurs. We are teaching sales for 3 days to Black women entrepreneurs who are ready to scale their businesses. And we would love for you guys to be there. If you have not already, check out the incredible trailer for the event, and then we're going to dive into the content from this video. Mary Ellen Pleasant. How did she do it? Oh, I wish I could just screw myself. Mary Ellen Pleasant? This can't be real.
Real or not, you've been carrying quite the load.
You see, wealth isn't always about what you keep. It's what you connect.
Ida B. Well?
When I wrote, I didn't just report, I revealed.
Right on time.
So it wasn't luck, it was strategy.
We have always been so innovative.
You're not starting something new, you're continuing something sacred.
I want to teach every Black woman business owner in the world about it.
When I started this company, it wasn't just about selling hair care. It was about dignity, independence, community. That's what real marketing does. It doesn't just sell, it lives.
See, a true sale is not made in the pocket, it's made in the heart. Now, you go on and sell live, not for the applause, but for the impact.
All right, guys, we are back. So super excited to be here with you guys today. This is going to be good. So if you are a Black woman expert who's ever been told, stay in the background, be grateful, don't make a fuss, stay tuned. In this video, I'm going to show you how Georgia Gilmore went from cooking in her kitchen in Montgomery, Alabama, to secretly financing the Montgomery bus boycott using fried chicken, pound cake, and an underground fund called the Club from Nowhere. And I'll show you how you can use her playbook of having her everyday skills and turning it into money for a movement in your business today. If you've ever thought, I'm not on the mic, I'm not on the board, but I know I'm supposed to be moving money and impact, this episode is for you. By the end, you'll know how to turn what you already do into a movement, build a discrete sales engine that funds your bigger goals, and design offers and systems that let you contribute at scale. Okay, so welcome to another episode of Deleted History, 28 Black women millionaires they prayed you'd never find out about. I'm Ashley Kirkwood, founder of Speak Your Way to Cash, $11 million in revenue, and I am known for helping licensed, certified, and professional service services experts to grow and sell their businesses and make more money. So we're doing an event at the end of the year called Black Women Sell Live. It's actually in September. The event's going to sell out way before then. So get on the wait list now at www.blackwomensellavent.com. And you know what's funny, you guys? I didn't know I would be doing Gilmore today. I didn't know I'd be sharing her story today. But one of the things that's really interesting about Georgia Gilmore's story is it's a story about someone who, she was working her job, minding her business. She was the head cook at the National Lunch Company, which was then a whites-only cafeteria. She ended up testifying in court about how she was being treated wrong by how the bus drivers were mistreating Black riders. That truth ended up getting her fired from her job. But luckily, Martin Luther King himself, y'all, gave her seed money to start her business and encouraged her to go out on her own. She eventually started cooking in her kitchen and hired a team of secret maids and cooks from all across Montgomery to help her to cook food that they sold all across Montgomery. And they took some of the proceeds and helped to fund the movement. And what's so cool is her in-house kitchen ended up becoming a safe haven for planning and for political leaders of that time to meet. And what I absolutely loved about her story is that it all started because she was brave enough to speak out. And I just feel like right now we're at a time where people are losing brand deals, and they're losing followers, and they're losing email subscribers, and they're losing monetary opportunities just for speaking up and saying that this isn't right, what's going on in our country, or what the president did wasn't right, or this is how I feel. And my team asked me this morning, they were like, hey, Ashley, we got a couple of emails from people who are diehard Trump supporters. They love him. They love Trump. And they were like, they're really mad about your video that you did about his vile image. And they're very upset with you. And they said that they don't want to be on the email list anymore. They don't want to work with our company anymore. And I was like, I was like, that's great. No problem. They can definitely leave. It's fine with me. But my team was really worried. They were like, we got these messages, we got these threatening messages. And I was like, yeah, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. I was like, one thing I know about me, I've never told y'all that I wasn't going to speak up about what I think is right. Everyone who really follows me already knows what it is, already knows how I feel about things. But my business, I guarantee you, our revenue is not fueled by MAGA. I can guarantee you that. So the people who were so mad and so frustrated and diehard Donald Trump, I guarantee you were also the people who haven't spent a dime with our business. And if they have, it was not significant. You know what I mean? Just for me. Now, that's my personal story. Now, for Georgia Gilmore, what makes her story I'm not comparing us at all, but Georgia Gilmore's story is so much more powerful and potent because when she spoke out against these bus drivers in Montgomery, Alabama, she was working for a whites-only cafeteria. So all of her revenue was at risk the moment she stood out. All of her revenue was at risk the moment she testified against this bus company. But what I love about her story is that she went from working in an oppressive environment for people who did not value her, they would allow her to cook for them, wouldn't allow her to dine with them. She went from that to being a business owner and being able to serve people that she loved. She was able to send her kids to college based off the money that she made. And she was able to fund a movement, and she was able to employ other people who were then able to cook and get their resources provided for them too. So sometimes there's business owners who come to me all the time and they're like, Ashley, you talk about Black issues, or you say that you're a Black woman. And it's like, it's not like I can hide that I'm a Black woman, right? But they say they wish they could do that. Or you talk about your faith. I wish I could talk about my faith. Talk about what you want to talk about. You're a business owner. And if your base is serving people who don't want you to be you, then stop serving those people. The beautiful thing about the time we live in now is that we could actually build incredibly sustainable, scalable businesses serving exactly who we would like to serve. Do you understand that? You could share your values in your messaging. And in the event that people don't like your values, they could choose not to work with you. But in the event that they do like your values, they could choose to work with you, which means that if you share your values, one of the benefits of it is you attract values-aligned customers. Now, that does not mean that all of my customers vote the same way. It doesn't mean that I would kick out a customer if I found out they voted a different way. I don't really believe in that, and I'm not party loyal. So I'm not Democrat loyal or Republican loyal. But what I am is justice loyal, and I am Black loyal. Like, I really am. So like, if it's going to be between me sharing my values and attracting people who are like, I don't want you talking about that, well then you can go. Like, I have no problem with that. I'm very fine with you leaving. If you want to stay, that's fine. But you're going to get this information. We had a woman who was like, I don't want to be on your list anymore because you're talking about Black women's history and I'm not a Black woman. Let me be clear. Let me clear this up too. Okay? Can I be real this morning? Comment real on Instagram. Let's keep it 100. Let's keep it a buck. The story of Georgia Gilmore, the story of Rose Meta Morgan starting a bank, the story of Sarah Spencer Washington buying her freedom, utilizing her skills, the story of Maggie Lena Walker being the first woman to start a bank, the story of Clara Brown, the story of Annie Turnbull Malone, all of these women were American. So let me be clear. We call this month Black History Month, but this is American history. And slavery is more of an American history thing than it is a Black history thing. It doesn't really delineate who I am as a person. The entrepreneurship stories of these women delineates more of who I am as a person than the fact that they were enslaved. They were enslaved because of America's history. So I don't know why you think you need to be Black to hear the history of your country, because every single last one of the women that I've talked about actually is American. So if you can sit through a U.S. history class and not be offended, if you can learn about all the other things this country has done, then you should learn about all of the other things this country has done. Like, it is American history. It is not delineated only to Black. Now, from an entrepreneurship perspective, if you run a business and you want to make money, why wouldn't you want to learn from seven-figure entrepreneurs that we've been showing you this whole time? Like, I don't quite understand it, but it's not for me to understand because you can never really argue with ignorance. But what I will tell you is, for every person who's wondering, should I share my values right now? Should I speak up? Is it okay? I think you should do what feels right in your heart. And I don't think that you should, whatever your fear is, like if you're not speaking up solely because you're afraid of something, then I think you should speak up. Because I just am not ever going to recommend that you guys are led and driven by fear. I think that is the worst thing you can do. It forces your life to be lived in a cage. And that's not what you want. And entrepreneurship isn't really about that. It is about freedom. And if it's about freedom, you should be free to speak. You should be free to share your values, your stories. You have to think about what you want your brand to be. We're very accepting, but we're very clear on what our values are. Okay? So that's kind of where I stand on it. You know what I'm saying? That's where I stand. That's where I stand. So I love Georgia's story. I think it's absolutely incredible in terms of how you all can take this story of turning her movement money method. Number one, you need to identify your kitchen skill. Georgia's kitchen was literal. Yours might be coaching, speaking, writing, strategy, design, operations. Your question is, what do people really come to me for? Like, without a fancy funnel, what are people coming to me for? What is my base skill level? This is a critically important question. So if you were to think about what are people coming to you for, that skill is the foundation of your business. But what all of the women that we've studied have done is they've taken that skill and they've transformed that skill into an actual business. You knowing how to write doesn't mean you own a writing company. You knowing how to write means you have the skill of writing. You owning a writing company means you have the skill of being a CEO and transferring your skill into something that can be an actual business that can run without just you. Number two, you want to turn that skill into a simple, repeatable offer. So what is there a specific workshop that you run monthly? Is there a retainer service that you can offer? Is there a signature talk that you're paid to give? One of the biggest things that I see with entrepreneurs is they don't always know the difference between like them selling a product like this book and them selling an offer. So if I were to say, I want you to buy the Speak Get Ready Cash book. Okay, that's the product, right? But if I were to say, okay, I want you to buy the Millions from the Stage Accelerator. It includes the Speak Get Ready Cash book, a course on how to speak and sell and be more persuasive with your words. It comes with 30 days of access to a Speak Get Ready Cash coach. That's an offer. It's a combination of products and services that can help you get from point A to point B. Many of you could charge more, do more, and scale further if you would stop just selling your product or your individual service and you would start selling an offer. An offer compels someone to buy based on their desires, not yours. So going online and saying things like, I'm doing this event. that's not really an offer. But if you package it and you tell people, okay, when you come to Black Women Sell Live, we're going to take you to through a 3-day sales accelerator. It's live in person. It's all day. We have 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. The last night, we have a huge gospel explosion with gospel headliners. It's going to be incredible. You're going to start off doing mindset work, but every break, we're going to give you specific sales things that we want you to do. And then the goal is for you to make money while you're at the event. But even before you get to the event, we give you training live and on demand that you can actually use to make your ticket money back before you ever step in the door. And it's happened time and time again. And this isn't our first event. We've done it 3 times. Like, that's really explaining how does it get you from point A to where you're at. If you're making $10K a month, but you want to be at $100, $200, $300, $400,000 a month, and you want to learn from someone who's done that, then you should really be at this event. Because at some point, if you want to accelerate, you need information that you don't already have. Like, you don't want to just sell the thing. You want to actually sell the offer. And so if you're thinking, how do I create better offers? You need to have a name for your offer. You need a transformation of your offer, and you need a one-liner that clearly positions your offer against everything else that's out there in the marketplace. And then 3, assign profits a purpose. There are some of you that are very heart-centered entrepreneurs. If that's you, comment heart. And I love that for you. And what I want you to do with that is I want you to think, okay, for every $50,000 I make, I'm going to donate X. And when you're setting your revenue goals, one of the things that we did this year is we set our revenue goals, we set our giving goals, we set our philanthropic goals. So we knew how much money we wanted to give to all the causes that we care about. And I wanted to make this announcement too. If you are someone who knows someone who is on the front lines of giving legal services to people who are unjustly detained by ICE, can you please email me, because I'm looking for an organization to support that does that. And if you have any other organizations that are on the front lines of justice initiatives, I know Chicago Appleseed was one that I was affiliated with when I was in Chicago. But if you have other organizations that are doing great work, please email Ashley at ashleynicolekirkwood.com so that we can put together a list. And then when our audience asks, like, where should we be giving our money, we can vet these organizations and then provide a list of organizations that we vetted that are solid, that are going to do the right thing with the money. Because I do think that a big thing that's going to come out of Black Women Sell Live in this series and how we're moving this year is we're going to be able to do more for good organizations. And I'm really excited about it. But I want to make sure I have a good list so that even when I choose my organizations, I can give people some options of where they can send money that will actually be used for the cause that we want it to be used for. Okay. So that's my ask. All right. So you want to assign profits a purpose. You want to assign profits a purpose. So name your club from nowhere. One of the things that Georgia Gilmore did that I wanted to point out is she actually, when she donated the money, she never wanted people to be able to know the exact source of the money. So she formed a group of women and she called it the Club from Nowhere. And she would donate the money and actually donate the money under the name Nowhere. So when she would actually donate money, no one knew where it was coming from. No one knew who it was, which kept her safe. And it actually kept the movement's revenue stream safe because, as you all know, the FBI and the American government was all up in their business and was trying to catch them up. And if you can stop the money flow to these movements, you can also stop the movement itself, okay? So hopefully that's helpful as well. Like, some things we do publicly, some things we do privately. But I love that lesson from her of being deliberate about that as well. So when you're thinking about how to apply it, you're going to get your offer. You're going to rally your own club. Who are co-sellers, affiliates, ambassadors, partners, people that you can work with to get your message out there. And then 5, you don't have to be the most visible person in the movement to be one of the most vital. Like, really keep in mind that there is something that we all can do when we are faced with injustice, and everyone has a different role to play. And I don't think anyone should feel guilty about their role or you know, big eyes, little T's, that kind of thing. But I do think that there are a lot of people right now who are wondering, should I be speaking out? Should I be talking up about these issues? Should I be on the front lines? And I personally believe, and this is, if you don't remember anything else, remember this: if the only reason you're not saying something is because you're scared, that means you're being led by fear, and that's probably the wrong decision. But if you have a strategic reason not to share, you genuinely just don't want to share, I don't think you should feel forced into anything. But if the only reason you're not, like, you want to do it, but you're just scared, you might as well go on ahead and get over that, because that's the same fear that kept you straightening your hair in corporate when you didn't want to, wearing black, blue, and gray when you wanted to wear pink. Like, all of those, like, your company is your environment. And if you don't like it, it is on you. Change it. Okay? I think about that often. Like, I am going to change. I'm not going to go to work when I'm the boss and dislike my workplace. And I'm not going to be muffling my voice. I think there's wisdom, there's ways you do things, there's some strategy to that. There's a level of being shrewd that you have to exercise. But yeah, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. If we don't like something and we want to speak out about it, that's fine. And I want values aligned clients. We don't have to all have the same political party or the same belief systems, but we do need to have similar values, and or you at least need to be fine with mine, because mine are not changing, okay? So hopefully you all got something out of this. If you want to read more about her, go to my LinkedIn. I've shared her story and so many others. Every single day I'm showing up live for you guys doing this series, talking about these women. They are absolutely incredible, and I want you to get your ticket for Black Women Sell Live. Now, you can't get your ticket if you're not on the wait list, so go to blackwomensellavent.com. If you're not sure what that is, check out our trailer. Mary Ellen Pleasant. How did she do it? Oh, I wish I could just screw myself.
Mary Ellen Pleasant? This can't be real.
Real or not, you've been carrying quite the load.
You see, wealth isn't always about what you keep. It's what you connect.
Ida B. Well?
When I wrote, I didn't just report, I revealed.
Right on time. So it wasn't luck. It was strategy.
We have always been so innovative.
You're not starting something new, you're continuing something sacred.
I want to teach every Black woman business owner in the world about you.
When I started this company, it wasn't just about selling hair care. It was about dignity, independence, community. That's what real marketing does. It doesn't just sell, it lives.
See, a true sale is not made in the pocket, it's made in the heart. Now, you go on and sell live, not for the applause, but for the impact.
All right, guys. Have a great Monday. It's Monday, right? Yeah, it's Monday. Have a great Monday, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.